Good day. How are you? You're still thinking about it? And the question of how are you, okay, although I'll be all over the place in this video, the question with how are you actually reminds me of something else, which is how am I? How is he? How is she? How are we all in a group? Why are we sad? Why should we be sad? Should we be taking advantage of every moment for ourselves? The reason I started on this subject to start is I felt a little sad when I got on. And maybe it's because I'm a little confused, a little lost, can't share any of my stuff with anybody, and have this whole big ball with stuff not squeezed together, but I got the whole big ball, and half of it is empty. Whatever's in there is what I think I may know, what I actually do know, what I hypothetically think, and what others think about my hypothetical thoughts, and whether or not that makes them more real or less real than they are. Well, hypothetical thoughts are always real. Whether the truth inside of them are actually destined towards the truth of what everybody sees in this world is another question. And you always have to ask that question. I just finished watching a movie about 9/11. Keep losing my lighter, so I bought a bigger one. Now, regardless what anything was said about 9/11, the two buildings are down. The war went on. And one of my questions came to ask me, because they keep bringing up the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. Who was in government when World War I started, World War II started, okay? Who was in government during different things around the world, okay? Because I found something that was really weird. And it all surrounded, like it seems to be don't get me wrong, because this is only hypothetical because no one has said it. This seems to be an undermining the Jew world, where the Jew undermines everybody, whether he's in politics or whether he's sitting here in a chair doing Mr. Tackpans. Seems like the Jews are out to undermine everybody. But then when you come into this world and think of monopoly, but that's what it's all about. You have to take what you can get, create what you can, make it as big as you could, to the best monuments that you can ever put to show what you have done in this earth. So when you get up into heaven, you can look at your story. Look what I did on earth, everybody. Oh, I see. You know what I did on earth? I found the higher self of who I am. That's what I did. And by finding the higher self of who you are, you find the information that comes with it. And the 10% of the information you once had is now 50% of the information you've never had. It's not how much your brain can think, but how much information it can get. So the 10% theory debunked. The 10%, what is the actual 10% difference of our blood flow? If we both start as 100, one goes up, let's say 10, well, that's God, plus the 5 for us. So that would be 15. We go to 100 to 115 blood pressure, and the other way around, it would go to 85. So it'd be 85 over 115. And that's based on 5, 10, 15. We can't count the 20th one, okay? It's already in us, okay, under another part. It's like saying, are you a heart, spade, club, or diamond? When you get 5 cards, there's a chance for all, but when you get 2 cards, as in Hold'em, you only can have 2 suits the most. And then there can be 5 different suits on the table, right? Absolutely right. 5 different suits, because they got a different number on them. So what we're going to talk about today is not what happened in 9/11, not what's happening around the world. This is all bullshit. The minute somebody says work to me, I go bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Unless I'm sitting up there and listening, having the actual ear of the matrix, knowing what should be and what shouldn't be, is only hypothetical in my own thoughts. But based on what is relevant, irrelevant, what is possible and impossible, I will base my thoughts on what everybody else thinks. But who asks the question of how can I understand everybody else? Just saying one word. Whoever hates war, here you are, one finger. Whoever likes this, one finger. Everything gets a finger. Everything gets a category. That's the way they do it. It's so simple. So the Bible belongs to God, so I guess he wrote the first story. But none of us really seem to understand the totality of the Bible, because everybody does understand the totality of the Bible through all the stories. Some stories one understands one way, the other understands another way, but it doesn't matter. God had to get to everybody. That's why he wrote it that way. And then, when some people didn't understand, they had men rewrite the Bibles and keep rewriting. It was almost like the number of laws they put out a year. They put out 40,000 laws of what not to do, so automatically they're going to have to build 40,000, they're going to have to get 40,000 people to fill these laws so they can go to jail, so we can pay $40,000 each by 40, or what is it, 16 million? I don't know, there's 160 million a year. Let the people out. Give them money to do something. Jesus Christ. We'll put them back in if we have to. We don't have to be so judgmental. So what I'm going to get to right now is part of the king of all letters, Art Simpson. Lettering. Two-sided man. What do you see? Who cares? What we're going to get to is this. These letters, okay, are all minimum one straight leg. Okay? The B, the D. You notice the first two, B and D, because C is rounded and open, somewhere down on another page, okay? C is open, so you can't put C. A is on a straight line angle, okay? But B is straight, straight, straight. These letters are the only ones straight. This letter can stand on its own. 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 This one can stand on its own. But this letter W that can stand on its own, okay, there's another thing for it. If you were playing the game of pool, okay, that letter actually cannot be made. So I'm going to try and find, I've done so many pages. I did a video yesterday, and it came out as what? Couldn't even understand it. Terrible, 40 minutes. And I'm going to end this one early anyways, just so I can check. Okay, I got the page. Hold on. Here's a pool table. I drew a pool table, okay? What letter can you do on the pool table? Well, if you were going in between the pockets on an angle, in order to get to this pocket, your first letter will go and hit the side band, but automatically the next one goes in the hole. If you were going like this. So you can never make a W. All you can make is a double V. And that's the reason they call it a double V, because it had to be created the way it did. You had to start and restart. It was both of two, the two worlds, number 23. Kind of like this cigarette again. I'm a little nervous right now, because I don't know if this video is going to come out. And anyways, whatever. Let's not get ourselves lost. Now we're going to go back to B and D, right? B, D, E, the next three letters, why don't we put it to bed? D and E says dice, and D and E, D says dead. 454 says dead, it says love, and it says the fox. Imagine you start off with two round ones, eh? Here's a double B, which is actually two D's in one that create the D. Isn't it crazy the way it starts off? 2, 4, 5, 6. That's the position number of the letters in our alphabet. They're all simple, okay? But we have the M, which is the 13th, stands on its own. With the 12th, stands on its own, is 25. 36, KLM, 36, creation of man, all standing on their own in a row. 36, stand on its own, 41, 45, 47, 57, 61, 79. I didn't do the K? Yeah, I did. 79, 89. No, I can't count that. 79. It's a total of 79. Okay? The reason I can't count this, it's not a straight back. Okay? It's an angle. These are straight backs. 7 and 9 stands for the earmuffs. 7 and 9. Hold on a second. Let me see this. 7 and 9. 7 and 9. 7 and 9. Oh, there it is. I got it. There it is. I got the energy lit up. I got the light. We're coming in. 7 and 9. 7 times 9 is 63. And again, creation of man. Can I light my cigarette? I know it's all confusing. I know I'm saying it fast, but you know, when I'm writing it and showing it, for some reason it's not the same. Gotta get better at this. So we got 79. So the balance, okay, of was not letters that can fall over on their own, the letter F, okay, 6. Oh, I forgot the H over here, which would make it 87, unless I counted the H, and that wouldn't make any difference, because 87 says alpha omega, the letters G and H, silent in some words. I wonder why. I wonder why the Aleph is silent, now the G and H is silent. Do they create the gates of heaven? Words that you need not speak because you are alive on earth, and they are here automatically in who you are, in the heavens of who you are. So you don't have to say it twice. Once we know you're already in the heavens. Now we go circled straight back letters. Only B and V exist. 2 and 4 creates the letter X. Reverse 4 and 2 creates the letters, the numbers 42. 42 stands for the 5 and the 9, meaning 5 and 9, the same letter count. F-I-V-E and N-I-N-E are the same positions in the alphabet in the totality. So we have these 3 letters. Now, any letter to go with W? Well, we have a long list to go, so let me start off somewhere else. We're going to go to the U. The only way the U can be made is this way. Okay, this is the U, but if we were using blocks in short, this would be 3, 6 blocks it can use. Most letters are using 2, 4, and 6 blocks to create it. We cannot create this the other way unless we do this, but then we broke the lines. Just to skip out and skip over, if we remove one of the legs, okay, on M, we end up with 1, 4, which has 4, okay? But at the same time, okay, I marked R equals 4. Now I don't know why. I don't know what I did here to make this, okay? So I can also say IV, okay? R is the 9th letter. IV totals 31. Now I don't know why I'm telling you this, and I forget what it was. I had it in the first video, the one previous to this. This is the letter Z. The angle of this is the angle of supposed to be 135 degrees, or 120 to 135 degrees, this angle. In it we put a diamond, we put a cross, and we put 2 lines. These 2 lines would create the H, heaven, but 1 line down the center would create the I. This is 2 sides that can be flipped upside down, sit on each other, and look the same. And that's one of the reasons why the big Z and the bottom and the little z look the same. And it's not only for that instance that they look the same, is because the little z fits into one square where it can touch, where all the points touch each corner. Here's a big Z for a different kind of game. This is 4 spaces and 4 spaces. It's for a different element of a different kind of equation. The V can create it in 2 boxes over here, but then we run a center line. So the V in itself can also run the same way. Okay, although it takes up 2 boxes, the extension on each side says 1, 3, and 5, 135 degrees. Okay, like I mentioned before. The same thing with the X. The X stands on its own. The V must fall and must be like this. This is now the V looking like this because this is the angle, the true angle. Okay? Can't be wrong. I'm on the line. I tilted the book until it was straight. I have to be right, hypothetically, of course, inside the situation that I have created that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. But that's okay. I'm going to make it exist until we wake up to something. Somebody, somewhere, at some time, at some point, will wake up. How do I know this? Because I've been waking up every day. But waking up without my sleep and waking up about my sleep with my mind is waking up every day. When I feel sad, it's because I'm silent in my mind. I'm not sure which direction to go. Now I ask myself the question, is it part of bipolar, or I'm not doing a proper search? How should I be searching? Maybe I shouldn't be so, into really finding something that makes a difference. But that's me. Jump to another conclusion. Lost my phone somewhere, but actually not somewhere where I really don't want to go back, but I'll go back anyways. So we have the V, we have the X, and we have the Z. They're all, I'm going to mark these down so I don't forget. We have the V, We have the X, we have the Z. B, A, B, C, D, C, C, D, E, F, G. The F's a funny one, eh? H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O, O, P, P, Q, R, S, T, U, U, V, W. Okay, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so here it is. So here it is. This letter cannot stand on its own, it will fall. Can stand on its own, 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 roll over until it's bobbling on one side or it falls right in here. It could wobble like this, right? Or it could roll over and fall here. The P letter, okay, the reason why I put the P letter in here is because the P letter, okay, is actually a reason for it. The S, the U, the W. These three are different. The reason I mark these is because this one is a crossing line in exchange for a dot. This one over here is a round top instead of which actually can come all the way back together. It's showing you it's going around because if I draw another F face to face, it'll show you a fuller version of the smaller letter. Why I wrote these is because V, X, Z, K, M, O, okay, C, P is standing above the line, not below. The S, the U, and the W are all the same duplicated letters, whether they're big or small. Not only that, if you want to go into these letters, okay, how much space will each letter actually take to be able to create in its own way? The O can be used in four corners of a square, but if you're drawing for the shape of the octagon, you're going to have to draw it in the shape over here. This is one shape, this is an octagon. You can also do it right in the four corners of the circle. There's more than one ways to do it. But you always have to remember that in the game of pool, wow, I did 20 pages, I didn't even know. That in the game of pool I said, okay, this is pocket to pocket. In pocket to pocket, I can create a V. I can't create the V this way because there's no pocket over here. But if I play pool that I pay money for, there's an outlet, okay, for the white ball over here, which makes this pocket to the white ball to this pocket to the white ball your V. And your white ball is the one you can touch, and you can't touch anything else. So the white ball, bang, bang. To show off the letter R with an octagon head, its extension and reason for the little extra space on the R is right here, plus the octagon head is your other R. We already know that R is 7 and 0. Q in the octagon shape for the small q must take 3 spaces starting here and ending up down here. Now 1, 2, 3 spaces says I'm in center and I'm over 1 to the right. I must be in number 3 over here. 5, 3. Now the reason for that is where I started is on your, whatever you do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's one set. 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, that's another set. Okay, you only took 2 rows of 3 numbers. So you got to differentiate the angle. Because don't forget, if it's on this angle, it always seems to be both sides of the, like the N and the Z on this angle, it's both letters at the same time. That's why they spell Zion like the word. Okay, then we have flat tops. I can't tell you everything. We have flat tops, JTI. Okay, flat tops, 10, 30, 39, perfection. Then we have peaks and points. Peaks and points. A peak and a point. None here, not here. Loose leaf peak and point, just like creating the R. The top part of the small r is created out of the small k. The small k and the big K are together. In fact, I didn't even show you that, but they're also basically the same design, and they're the K. So we've done this. We understand what we could and we can't do in pool. We have flat top letters. We have 45-degree angle letters, the X, the Y, the Z, the N, the A. I'm not going to add them up. Okay. X, Y, Z, N, hold on, X, Y, Z, Y, A, N. So here's the letters of those angles that I took off the top of my head. There may be another one. Okay, the N, I took it because of the angle going across this way, even though it has two standing sticks, and it spells X, Zion. Now you think it spells Zion for nothing? I didn't make up the letters. I just chose the equation to use it with. And that's what it spells. So let me take a look back. So if it says X, Zion, okay, is there anything else? A, B, C, D. Okay, now the D is special because the corners, using it in an octagon shape, is going to create that angle, but only in one square. I'm looking at more than that, like the N, where it crosses through. So B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. It sticks. It's a standing straight letter. You could use the sticks, but it's a V this way. It's not a whole stick, but it is a whole stick. So we'll add the V at the end, but that only stands for life, you know? So if you really put this together, right, you have the X, which is not in there, and you have the V that is not in there. You have Zion. X and V stands for 5 and 10. The 5-10 store, the earlier on in this tape or the previous tape that I was speaking about 5 and 10, the 5 and 10, I spoke to a friend of mine last night. If God was 5 and we came to this world, then we would be 5 and he would be 10. We'd be 10, he'd be 15. We'd be 15, he'd be 20. Wait a second. What about beta? Wouldn't it be 5, 10? We would be 5. Beta would be, God would be 5. We would be 0. Beta would be minus. We got to add that up. Well, we're going to get 20 anyways. And taking 20 and putting it somewhere says it's a heaven. We get 28. We add a person into that world. We get 11. We got 39. It's quite perfect if you don't think. We leave it at this for now, although there's about 8 more pages to do. That's what's really boggling my mind, is I can't do it all. But I could do it all because I don't like to use the word I can't. I really don't like that word, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't. I can't, but I could, and I will if I could. I will if I could, that means I could. That means I can't. That means I can't if I think I only could. The best thing for me, whether I could or I can't, I'm going to try. What am I going to try? I'm not quite sure. I'm going to try something. See, I don't actually know what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about anything, but whatever it is, I'm going to try. And I'm getting out of this house. Before we go, do you want to see what I did in the last day? Let me see if I can pull this apart here and pull out my... There's my one roof, and there's my floor. Can you see my floor? That's the floor of my house. There's the wall. Pictures. Floor. And then for the bedrooms, I divided the 2 floors, made my little doll, my fleur-de-lis, my birds. And that's the front of me, right underneath my desk. You see the jacks in the center? See the little W over there with the 2 eyes? And this is the floor next to me. And underneath my desk, it says W, B, C, Z. This is a William Beta creation. The king of the sky, the czar, has come in. The eyes have awakened. The night sky has changed. My vision is different. Did the night sky really change? Did the night sky really change? Did the night sky really change? Yeah, I'm fixing this up. Absolutely not. The night sky changed. The day sky changed. The understanding visual aspects of the totality in between one ear and the other ear are just above, and the slight understanding between the cool mind and all. All is all, and it will be forever. It is it, and this is that. Do not worry of anything that is not, because what is not makes no difference, and it is the difference that makes all the worth. It is the understanding of the knowledge that you can put together within one's mind, whether you sound like myself right now, or I'm shooting out little words and I'm bringing something together because I'm in the search. I'm in the lurch of the search. It's almost like the Addams family. It's ugly when you find it. And then when you understand it, it's so beautiful. Okay, I put 5 minutes into this bull right now. I'm going to thank you very much. 7286. What do I believe in the Twin Towers? They fell down. What do I believe in government? I don't believe anything. Don't believe anything at all. You know what I really think about government? I think about this. 2012 for Chivas Regal. They got all the war stuff right here on each sign. Okay? It tells you it's a blended whiskey. That means we're fighting 2 against 1. Can I explain it? I don't want to. Does that mean I can't? I can't actually explain it to the way I feel I'd like to. But I do know it's 2 against 1 right now. But when the good Lord steps in, one of their 2s disappears. Do you remember the saying, you got to fight your own battles? You see the guy in the background? He changes sides. It's no more 2 against 1. We become the dragon. We are the dragon. That's why everything we talk about, what we do on screen, what we type out on all the systems on the computer, whether we're doing our own publicity, whatever it is, we are the demons. Because they're wrecking and burning everything we do that they don't like. They're burning everything up. We must be the demons because they're giving us a backfire with fire by not letting the real truth get on in. But now it's too late. Once I know, it's pretty simple. I'm look at it this way. Can I fix this? Once I know, most of the people that need to know will know. Because I'm usually the last to know. So that's how I know there are many ahead of me. Thank God for last. It finally worked out for me. Raphael, 7286. But I will not forget, we are exactly September 11th. They call it 29 days away. They say the 12th, some action will happen. It'll be 3 days before the entrance of the pig. The last particle of the eclipse that falls on the 15th, that may be 3 days before or 6 days after for the creation of man. 3 and 6, 9. The birth says, I'm coming in or I'm coming out. The cord has been cut. What will be the message? September 15th. We'll say the 12th to the 21st. That'll leave us 3 months to the end of the year, because this year ends on the eve of the 20th. It's a whole new calendar for me. For 3 more days. What is it? On the 20th? That's right. Then we're 10 days into January. Calling it the changing of the guards or changing of the seasons. Now the reasons come in. What will the reasons be? Irrelevant to the fact. Those who have absolutely only one reason will have no reasons at all. When you're at the top, you knock everything down that comes up. But in marbles, when you pull out the sticks, all the marbles fall to the bottom and the sticks are still at the top. So you have to differentiate yourself from someone telling and someone asking. Now, is this all confusing? I'm going to let it go at this. But the last 7 minutes of this has just been confusing to myself also. But this is part of my diaries, confusing or not. Whatever was good was good. Whatever made sense made sense. Raphael, 7286.